Hi Year 11 and welcome to exercise 4.05 on fuel consumption. So the last few lessons we've been looking at rates and how to convert and work with different types of rates. And you might be thinking, when am I ever going to use this? And it's actually something you are probably maybe already using because some of you already have your learners or might be going to get your red Ps soon. So fuel consumption, working out how much fuel you need and how far you can travel and budgeting that way is something you'll actually use in everyday life. So to find our fuel consumption, we're going to put the litres of fuel used, we're going to divide it by the distance travelled in kilometres, and then we're going to multiply it by 100. So let's jump into this example. The dashboard computer in Sue's car shows that over the last 5,000 kilometres travelled, the car used fuel at a rate of 6.9 litres per 100 kilometres. So how much fuel did Sue's car use in the last 5,000 kilometres? So we know that our fuel consumption is 6.9 litres per 100 kilometres. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out, I want to convert this to how many litres per kilometre. So if I do 6.9 divided by 100, I'm going to get 0.069, and that is going to be litres per kilometre. So now we know how much fuel or how many litres of fuel is used per kilometre. So we're then going to do fuel used is going to be that 5,000 kilometres she's travelled, and then we're going to multiply it by how many litres of fuel she uses per kilometre, and that's going to give us 345 litres. So now if we go to B, at an average price of $1.55 a litre, how much did the petrol to travel 5,000 kilometres cost? So cost is going to equal our 345 litres of fuel she used, and then we're going to multiply it by that $1.55 per litre. We're going to multiply, so we're going to end up with 534.75. So $534.75 is how much it costs to travel that 5,000 kilometres. But if you think about it, fuel isn't that cheap anymore. So if you're wanting to maybe plan a road trip or something like that and you need to travel 5,000 kilometres, you're going to probably need more than $500 for fuel money alone. Our next one is Jesse bought a second-hand car. This week, he travelled 425 kilometres and used 32 litres of fuel. Calculate, correct to one decimal place, the car's fuel consumption in litres per 100 kilometres. So that's where we're going to use that formula we looked at earlier on. So fuel consumption is going to equal the 32 litres he used. We're then going to divide it by the distance he travelled in kilometres, and then we're going to multiply it by 100. So this is going to give us 7.5294, and this number continues on, but we want it to one decimal place, so we're going to have there's our one decimal place, so this next number will be our critical digit. Because it's 4 or less, it's going to stay as 5. And this is going to be per 100 kilometres. Because that's generally what we look at fuel consumption in, is how much or how many litres will we use per 100 kilometres. All right, last example. Saskia's BMW has a fuel consumption rate of 7.1 litres per 100 kilometres. How far to the nearest kilometre can the car travel on 60 litres of fuel? So we are going to start off by doing fuel consumption, and that is going to equal our 7.1 litres over 100 kilometres. I'm going to divide 7.1 by 100 to get 0.071 litres per kilometre. We're now then going to go distance. So now that we want to find out how fast 60 litres will get it. So 60 litres, and we're going to divide that by the number of litres used per kilometre. And that's going to give us 845.0704, and that number continues. We want to, does it tell us to the nearest kilometre? So this is already in kilometres, so we want to get rid of the decimal. Because this number's a 0, it will just be 845 kilometres. And that's it for this one. Let me know if you need any help.